The Milwaukee County District Attorney on the cover of the New York Post as conservative commentators and at least one elected official suggests he ought to resign. Fox 6 investigator Brian Polson joining us now with more fallout from the parade tragedy. Brian?
And Ted, the parade was Sunday. The letter came Monday. Milwaukee County DA John Chisholm writing, the bail his office recommended for 39-year-old Darrell Brooks earlier this month was too low. Now, right-wing talkers and at least one Republican politician want the Democrat DA to pay a price.
I think he's absolutely responsible.
State Representative Cindy Duco is a Republican. Milwaukee DA John Chisholm, a Democrat. So it's no surprise they would disagree on policy. But this
was not a little oops. This was a pretty darn big mistake.
Takes their disparate visions to a new level.
I can't imagine those parents sitting there with their kids. I mean, and I saw them. So
Duco introduced a bill Tuesday to change the state constitution, allowing judges to consider public safety when setting the dollar amount of bail. A day earlier, Chisholm issued a statement acknowledging the $1,000 bail posted by Darrell Brooks just days before the Waukesha parade was too low.
We can't just keep opening up the doors and letting them out.
On Wednesday, the New York Post called out Milwaukee's woke DA.
These chickens are coming home to roost.
Conservative radio host Jeff Wagner said he ought to move on.
If Chisholm really wants to own up and take responsibility, the only decent thing to do would be to resign.
And right-wing political consultant Brian Fraley suggested the governor ought to take him out.
Do you believe this is serious enough that the DA should resign or be removed from office?
I would prefer not to comment on that. I think if I were in his shoes, I would think maybe it's time I stepped aside.
Does he have any response to that?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
But you can feel free to ask him that.
Chisholm's number 2, Chief Deputy DA Kent Lovern, said the DA was not available to talk on Wednesday, but says he'll have a lot more to say next week. As for Representative Duco's bail legislation, she says because it calls for a change in the state constitution, it would actually have to pass 2 consecutive legislative sessions and then be approved by voters at the ballot box. The soonest that could happen, she says, is the spring of 2023. Ted?
Brian Polson, thank you.